that you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hi guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Good? So, we've just gone through a strenuous election. Two horrible choices. A vacuum salesman, slum lord, golden toilet, Mar-a-Lago golfing, douchebag, and a racist, mass incarcerated, prison industrial complex and credit card industry bought corporate neoliberal douchebag. Was there another choice? Apparently some people say no. Apparently some people say those were our only two options. Sometimes, guys, the best way to come up with solutions is to look at our past. Looking at our past, what did we do when we were confronted with options that sucked ass? Options like taxation without representation. What did we do then? Did we conform to the conventional wisdom and the social norms? Or did we declare revolution? Well, guys, our founding fathers declared revolution. There are always two different types of people in this country. There's patriots and there's loyalists. So, guys, you got to decide which one you are. I have with me some patriots, some people that are willing to make some changes and come up with some different solutions than the conventional wisdom and the social norms. I have Ellee Spawn, Ellee, the National Progressive Party. And we have my special contributor, Richard Powski. We're going to be talking about where do we go from here? So I interviewed you previously about the National Progressive Party. That is another solution because these two parties are corrupt and they're failing at every turn. So what do you think? What is our first what's the first step? What's the first step into our revolution? What do we do now? I'm not getting a sound. I'm not getting sound.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I get it.
Helps to turn things on. I am so sorry. No, the answer is we organize and we continue to organize. And when we think we're done organizing, we continue to organize even more. We need to take our country back from the 1%. This country isn't about the wealthiest people in the nation. It's about you, it's about me, it's about our neighbors, it's about our families. And until we're actually represented by that government, we've got a government that doesn't work for anybody except for just a few people.
Yeah. So I agree with that pretty much. Oh, where's the thing? You know the thing. You know the thing. Sorry, guys. I'm getting used to this restream thing. So, what is the platform of the National Progressive Party? I didn't ask you about this last time. Do you have like a list of tenets?
Well, yeah, we do basically. Well, I'm not gonna say that we have a platform because we do really believe that a platform is something that should be voted on by our membership when we get to the point of having a convention. But there are certain things that we definitely stand for. We stand for a living wage that should be chained to. Um, Sorry, brain cramp today. A living wage that should be chained to inflation. We believe that people should have access to medical care no matter where their station in life is. So we're big proponents of Medicare for all. We believe that there should be a pathway to citizenship for people who do not have citizenship and are not here um, through traditional legal channels. We um, we believe in modern monetary theory. We know that our dollar is sovereign and it's not based on the gold standard.
Yeah.
The government likes to talk in terms of how are we going to pay for it? Well, they
How
can
are we
pay
gonna
for
pay?
whatever they want to pay for if it's something they want. If it's something the rest of us need, then oh my God, clutch the pearls. How do we pay for it? Well, we all know how we pay for it. The government writes a check for it, and boom, we have it
Yeah.
because we are sovereign to our own dollar here. So that's just a mindset that people need to snap out of it just once and for all. When it comes to state governments, that's a little bit different because states don't purchase their or they don't print their own currency. But when it comes to the federal government can give the states funds to fund things, and they do give the states funds to fund things. So it's going to involve a lot of education to get people to understand how things actually do work.
Excellent. Well, modern monetary theory. So could you go into some detail about that for me? Because I heard about that, but I'm not sure. Like, what is the concept of that modern monetary? So our money's not on the gold standard anymore
No, it hasn't been on the gold standard
since
for
the
a
80s,
very,
right?
very, very long time. Yeah.
Right.
Um, since before I was old enough to understand what it was. And I am not an expert on MMT. Steve Grumbine, however, is from Real Progressives, and he's our advisor on all things economy related. I can break it down in the most simple of terms,
Mm-hmm.
like I basically did. The US government mints our money. It's not backed on the gold standard. You put money into the economy from the government. We take money back out of the economy in terms of taxes. The taxes do not go to fund the government. The government prints the money to fund the government programs.
Mm-hmm.
The money that we take out of the economy in the form of taxes is to help regulate how much money is out there so we can regulate inflation.
Right. So thank you so much for explaining that. That's common sense. That's what's actually happening. So thank you for explaining that to all the
Sure.
Republicans who think the free market is the thing, the golden goose, and we have to, that's the thing. Because I heard you say something about our money is sovereign or something like that.
Mhm.
The only thing keeping our money in check is the gigantic military that we've
Yeah,
expanded to keep everyone in line to make sure that they don't call in our debts. And
right.
we're pretty much blackmailing every country around.
Mhm.
That's what makes our money sovereign. Every time someone thinks that, sovereign, they think of something good or noble.
Right.
Sovereign. We're the empire. Remember that.
Mhm.
So that's all very well and good. But the more underlying thing is for me, how are we going to get rid? So you said before when I interviewed last time that you are there to we're there to cause a disturbance. We have to wake people up
Mhm.
to the reality. I don't even understand how they can't see it already. There's transparent corruption. There was a transfer of wealth. That's seen since the Gilded Age. Richard, are you there?
Mhm.
Special contributor Richard Palsky.
Hi.
There was a transfer of wealth not seen since the Gilded Age, okay,
Mhm.
and the CARES Act. $5 trillion. Trump was so excited. I've never said anything without a T before. He was so happy coloring in on this little signature. Meanwhile, the banks, the military-industrial complex, Raytheon and Boeing, and not to mention the Kennedy Center and all the little other things that Nancy Pelosi went shopping for, and had in the bill to make it look like she wanted to help the American people. And Ellie, the thing that gets me the most is not only did that work and everybody believed it, but Bernie Sanders was a useful idiot in perpetuating a lie that this was actually some kind of a benevolent, relief bill.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, it was nothing but a transfer of wealth guised as a relief bill.
Right.
And the progressives, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she grandstood that with the CARES Act. This is the opera transfer wealth. They did a voice vote. It was unanimous. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm talking about. How are we going to get progressives to progress? I think that's the fundamental thing that we're going to have to need to do. So I was Jimmy Dore. I don't know if y'all watch Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Dore always talks about how the Democrats, the progressive Democrats in the House, are nothing but useful idiots. They don't take the establishment's money, but they work for the people that take the establishment's money. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez grandstood on the floor, and then she voted for it anyway because she heard the speech from Nancy Pelosi. We're gonna fucking primary you if you don't.
Tommy, are you saying that the Democrats are the useful idiots, or the?
No, the Democrats are the useful idiots. They're not only paid to lose; they're paid to actually perpetuate a myths. And Bernie Sanders literally, I don't think this bill goes far enough with unemployment, bro. We're getting peanuts compared to Raytheon, Boeing, to what Raytheon got. I saw my stocks. I saw how they all bought the small companies. Literally a week after that happened, I got letters because I do some stock buys. They had collaborated. They'd bought other companies. They literally just the rich ate the little fish. Okay, that was a transfer of fucking wealth all down the board. So the progressives all voted for it. So it's things like that that make me feel hopeless. A and B. It's just like, so a progressive is supposed to progress. We can't just grandstand and talk about the problems. We have to prescribe the diet. We have to take the medicine. The medicine was to tell Nancy Pelosi to go fuck herself.
Unfortunately, from within the party, that's a pretty tough thing to do because if you want to stay where you're at, you almost have to drink the Kool-Aid while you're there. The Democratic Party is never going to be able to be changed from within. There's a reason.
It's not. I agree with Jimmy Dore on that.
And there's a reason that I left. I saw it myself here in South Dakota after the last election, after Trump won, and there was just no way the party, even in red South Dakota, if it's not going to change here, it's certainly not going to change in a blue state where they've got more of a power hold. Mm-hmm. So, I took some time away from politics and finally came to the conclusion, if it's going to change, somebody's going to need to do something. And it's not going to be, do we take the red pill? Do we take the blue pill? We need a different pill. We need exactly a whole new pill. And through National Progressive Party, we're not here necessarily to be a third party. And people always, they come at me with this, well, third parties, they're just going to split the vote and you're going to take votes away from the other guy. Well, you're goddamn right we are. We're going to take votes. We're going to take votes that should matter by the time it's all said and done. Because if the guy over here and the guy over there aren't earning the votes, why the hell should they get them in the first place? This isn't about your party versus my party. This is about coming in and disrupting the whole goddamn system because we're fed up. We're done. We're over it. So we're not here to be a third party. We are here to be a major party.
So that's amazing. People have this mentality like this is some kind of a sports game. People are dying. Children are dying with drone strikes. We're making some decisions that are costing the lives of thousands of people. And millions of people have slipped into poverty since March. In this own country, we have people living in poverty without any means. And we have the government is just transparently giving the money to the top 1%, and no one gives a shit. So there has to be another pill, like you said.
Well, the thing is I give a shit.
Yeah, I do too.
And there are millions more like me and like you that give a shit. And unless
But
those of us who care
the
step
Democrats,
up and
though.
do something about it, nothing is going to change. And that's what people need to understand is when you use your voice, you can effect change. When you sit back and just grumble about it, nothing's going to get any different.
True. Exactly. And that's exactly what they want you to do.
Right.
Is sit back and
Absolutely.
grumble about it.
It's easy to sit back and just complain. But if you just complain without making a plan, all you're doing is being a little bitch. And who wants to be that, really?
So speaking of being a little bitch, so Donald Trump has refused to concede the election. Everybody knew he was a whiny little bitch. This is the first time in his life that he can't buy his way out of winning, like losing. He's literally lost and he can't bribe anybody. Nobody, like, he lost. So the election's a hoax, and that's all fun and games. I've never given a shit what he said ever. He said we're gonna get tied up by Easter. I don't give a shit what Trump says. The media always wants to tell me what Trump says. I don't fucking care.
Right.
But I will say this. Apparently some Republicans do, and they think that the elections are rigged, which they are. They have been rigged for the longest time. But now they're not going to vote in the Georgia runoffs. So we're not going to participate in democracy now because their elections are rigged. Well, guess what, guys? Guess what happens if you don't vote in your Georgia runoffs? Then the Democrats take the Senate. So is that going to work out for you? This is exactly what the establishment wants you to do. Is they don't want you to talk about it. They want you to be tired of it. They want you to give in and shut the fuck up. So they can do whatever they want. And there's nobody to dissent.
Right.
Dissent voices? Why? Nobody. Everybody's giving in to the conventional norms. So if I were you Republicans, I wouldn't do that. But, knowing the Republicans, they are bootlickers. So they'll probably do whatever Trump says because he's the alpha. But if any American man or woman should probably know this. Inalienable rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Get your ass to gear, okay? Literally.
It's not just your right to vote. It's your duty to go vote. And there has been no proof of any shenanigans over this election. Trump wants to ballyhoo as much as he wants to ballyhoo.
You're right.
It's unfair, and they
I'm waiting
cheated.
for someone.
I'm gonna take my toys and go home.
I'm waiting for them to give me evidence. Like, I was waiting for it. The only proof that they have is the proof that they've come up with phony Russiagate scandals. Literally, they poured millions and billions of dollars into day one. Russia interfered with the elections.
Right.
Day two, the phony dossier scandal. Trump piss tape. Day three, Russiagate. Day four, I'm going to impeach Trump for the shit Joe Biden did in Ukraine. And so, like, they literally tried everything. So that was them rigging it.
And the thing is, it's happening on both sides of the aisle. And it's like, when you don't get your way. I learned this as a child. You don't just lie your way out of it just because you're not getting your own way. Any 3-year-old can tell you that it's not going to end well. So, buck up, put on your big girl panties and shuffle on down the road because this is some nonsense.
A 3-year-old can't lie her way out of it, but Nancy Pelosi can. She can definitely do that. She can go on Joy Reid. She can't go on CNN anymore because Wolf Blitzer asked her straight up, how do you look the American people in the eyes? But so she's like, no, I'm going to go Rachel Maddow because I have her. I bought. So these people, they'll just go, and then everybody's afraid of access. And so that's so funny how you say it. 3-year-old can't lie your way out of it. They can't, right? Us normal people, we can't lie our way out of situations. These politicians that we've given power to, they can literally just say whatever they want and blame Mitch McConnell for saying, yeah, we all know Mitch McConnell's a horrible person.
Yeah.
Aren't you the Speaker of the House? Aren't you the third in line for the presidency? These people are just playing the blame game. It's so ridiculous.
Right. It's a big game of pass the buck. And I guess I learned that as a 3-year-old that doesn't work very well in the long run.
No, not for normal people. Only for politicians. And Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Ellie, the Democrats are going to come after you because they already took the Greens off the ballot in November. They took the Greens off the ballots in several states. So they're bitter, completely destructive, and they all think it's for the good of diversity and fucking identity politics. It's for the good of the blacks and the gays that we're going to take the Greens off because Joe Biden really needs to win because he's good for everyone. Trump's a racist. So
let's take a look at Joe Biden's record on that, shall we?
I mean, I've taken an extensive look. I told you I was a little scared that my freaking video was going viral because I'm like, do y'all not know this? I've been watching this for the longest time. So it's a merry-go-round of establishment Democrat horrible people. Hillary Clinton, super predators. It's like who's next? I know it's Pelosi 2024. We're gonna hold our nose and vote Pelosi. I can just hear it all. I can hear it already. I'm tired of playing this game. Let's just not play anymore.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we're
telling
ready to
everybody.
get off the merry-go-round. With National Progressive Party, we are working on ballot access and want to be running people in local races as soon as next year.
How are you going to counter the Democrat opposition when they try to shut you off the ballots? And they have the power. They have the power. They have power. How do you do that?
Well, we'll play by the rules, and when they don't want to play by the rules, we file lawsuits.
Okay.
Because there are laws.
Oh, so you're going to do like what Bernie Sanders should have done in 2016 if he had balls.
Well, yeah, the thing is sometimes you have to have balls the size of hamsters, and not all men have them.
I know, man.
Yeah,
it's a sad sight.
Unfortunately.
How do you feel?
Like Tina Fey said, bitches get things done.
Yeah, bitches do. I get things done. I love Tina Fey. She was a great Sarah Palin, better than the real one. How do you feel about, since women, how do you feel about the Secretary of Defense being a woman and the cabinets are going to be women and blacks? Oh my God. So now Joe Biden can send his warmongers over there and women are going to be killing kids and families with drone strikes. Is that going to be cool? Girl power.
Well, I guess
women.
Maybe I'm gonna have to turn in my woman card. Maybe I don't believe in putting anybody into any position just based on their genitalia. That's kind of ridiculous. I believe in putting the most qualified individual into a position, based on their qualifications and on their experience. I would never ever vote for somebody just because they're a woman or a person of color. Let's take a look at, are they experienced? Do they have the qualifications to do the job? I haven't done the research into the people that Joe's nominated because honestly, I don't give a flat fine.
I do. I want to see what's coming.
I mean, I care, but I care more about what I'm working on right now because in the long run, it's going to affect us more. When we have some historical appointments and it seems more like he's trying to pat himself on the back for doing something monumental. Yay, you, Joe. Good job.
What do you do with monumental? Oh, the women thing?
Yeah. It's
legalize marijuana, Joe. That's monumental.
I mean, it's all just pandering from this point of view. And he's
so old.
Yeah. So old. Pandering is ridiculous. I don't buy into it. A lot of people do. They're so excited. We've got our first woman vice president and she's a woman of color and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that's great. And I'm sure as a human being, Kamala Harris is probably salt of the earth, wonderful woman, knits her neighbors' booties when they have babies, that kind of thing. I don't know, but
she'll keep her kids in jail longer for cheap prison labor.
Yeah.
Make sure
also, her record speaks for itself as far as what she did when she was working in California. So, if that's who we want in office, when inevitably President-elect Biden may or may not be able to fulfill his entire term, then I guess that's what we're going to get.
I mean, I really honestly think that he's going to be falling down some White House stairs and Kamala's going to be like, I'm speaking. She's always laughing about something. No, Medicare for all? I co-signed on that? I don't like it. You work for segregationists? It was a debate. I'm speaking.
Oh, God, you've got her down. That's awesome.
Yeah. I got them all down. They're all so old. It's all the same thing. It's the same thing except a different personality. I like that they have different personalities, though. I guess that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. It's going to help.
So great. And they're women, too. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
But, the issues. So I'm so glad it's refreshing to talk to people who really care about actual policies and issues, because that's what we're all facing it with this COVID pandemic. We're all facing some serious issues right now.
Right.
So
and
now is no time to listen to cinematic motion picture bullshit.
Right. Absolutely. And issues are really what's the most important right now. And people I talk to a lot of the time say, we've got the Democrats, we've got the Republicans, and you inserting this other party in the middle and so many other people trying to start, quote, third parties. how are you going to differentiate yourself and blah blah blah. And to me, it's not even really so much about differentiating ourselves. It's about having conversations and getting people out of their echo chambers.
Yeah.
What we've found here in South Dakota is Republicans and Democrats have got a lot more in common than they differ on. Um, and the reason we know that is because to get any meaningful legislation done here, we've got to go through basically a ballot process. The legislature doesn't do jack diddly here for
Okay.
anybody. And so if we want
So why
meaningful
do the Republicans
legislation
like it?
done, we
Small
have
government.
we have to do a ballot initiative and put it on the ballot and put it up to a vote statewide, like legalizing marijuana, for example, for medical purposes here. They wouldn't do it in the legislature. It's been debated, I don't know how many times. We finally got it on the ballot, and it passed, I believe, with a 77%.
Of course.
And
Of course.
in a
What's the
state that
problem?
says as conservative as South Dakota, it tells me that we will always win on policy if we're not talking about this team versus the other team. And that's where it's really, it's a huge eye opener. If you look all over the country, South Dakota is not that much different from other states. You have to talk to people that are, they have different points of view than you do. And you have to talk about policy, not about your party. Because if you can find those things that you've got in common, then all of a
Mhm.
sudden we've got some conversations that are going to start happening.
Of course.
And that's where we're going to find ourselves pushing forward. Because once we find those people that we've got things in common with, and they find out that we're willing to stand up for what they want to have happen,
That's
the
good.
the common sense is all of a sudden that tribalism is going to wear really thin. People are hurting right now. People are struggling.
People
And
are.
we need to find a path forward to fix that. And I can guarantee goddamn to you, it's not going to happen in the next 4 years with who we've got in office right now.
Correct. And I agree with you that we're all the same, American people trying to struggle, trying to take care of our families,
Right.
people we love, and we're trying to make ends meet, and we're trying to pay the bills, and we're trying to live life. We're all going through the same struggle, the same
Right.
hustle. So we have so many, there's so many things that bind us, common bonds. And so, but the thing is, it's just the noise from the other party, from the parties, the fear mongering, the divisive rhetoric.
Right.
It's just so noisy, and they're always talking. They're always saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's so hard to speak over it.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's a
What we
challenge.
really want to do is stop this whole divide and conquer thing and start bringing people together. And that sounds like such a platitude.
So,
Because we hear it from either side. We need to bring this country
yeah, but they
together.
don't mean it at all.
We need to heal.
They don't.
And when they say that, it means you need to sit down and shut up.
Yes, exactly.
When
That's what
we
they
say
mean.
that, we truly mean
You need to hold your
have,
nose and go along with the conventional
Yeah.
wisdom. That's what they mean.
just shut up and go away. We legitimately want to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And we legitimately want to bring our neighbors together to work for the good of everybody.
Yeah. For the good of everyone. And that's the reason why Bernie Sanders was popular in 2016. And that's the reason why Donald Trump was elected as president, because he said he was going to get out of the wars that Barack Obama put us in. He said he was going to get out of the TPP. He did get out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership that was going to export more jobs to Malaysian girls so Apple could make their computers cheaper. He said he was going to take care of everyone with health care, and he said he was going to make sure that everyone was going to get a living wage. He did. He said it. Hillary Clinton, too.
Right.
They both said they were going to raise the minimum wage. So in the 4 years that happened, Trump didn't start any new wars, but he didn't get out of any wars.
Right.
He didn't take care of anyone with health care. In fact, he took away some provisions of Obamacare. I do appreciate that he took away that fucking mandate.
The mandate?
That made me have to pay for not having health care.
Right.
Like, what kind of Gestapo bullshit is that, Democrats? Oh,
no, to put in
we have to
something
pay to
like,
all of it. Yeah, I'll pay to all of
Yeah.
it when there's a public option. I'm not going to pay to all of it when you got Aetna, Cigna, Blue Cross Blue Shield on your fucking board and you're paying them and you're getting rich.
Right.
I'm not paying for your fucking fun times,
Right.
Barack Obama. So that's what I was paying for.
I was excited about Obamacare until I realized what it actually was, and it was just a big fat gift wrap present to the insurance industry.
Yeah, it was all of them.
Total
They had a
disclosure.
website and
I am an insurance broker. I
Yeah?
sell insurance for a
What
living.
kind of insurance? What
I
kind of
sell Medicare insurance. My firm deals with group health benefits. We deal with life insurance. Um and so that's where I make my bread and butter.
Mhm.
And even I want Medicare for all
Mm.
because it's the
Why?
right thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, Medicare, as we know it right now, is very expandable to cover everybody. There's no reason we cannot do it. Um, the thing that I sell is something that complements Medicare. It adds additional benefits. You don't have to have it, but it's something that you can have. And there are a lot of plans that give additional benefits that don't even cost anything for people to have. And that's
Hmm.
something that a lot of people don't even know anything about. And so, that's where, to me, even as an insurance agent, if I can sell somebody something that they need that costs them $0 and still make a buck doing my job, yay me, right? But seriously, as far as the Medicare for all thing goes, I think it could be expanded for better coverage because there are a lot of gaps in Medicare coverage,
Mm-hmm. There
especially
are.
for people that are on fixed income and don't have a lot of money. You take a look at the deductibles on the Part A and Part B insurance. Well, Part B, your deductible is, oh gosh, it's off the top of my head, I want to say it's 300-ish. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, wear a
Um,
mask. You're killing my children. Just kidding.
no, I apologize. It's X amount of dollars. It's 297, I believe, is what it is for the
Oh,
year. But after that 297 for your Part B benefits, you have a co-insurance that's uncapped. And so you could end up paying 20% of a huge bill. I mean,
right.
over the course of a year, if you've got some serious medical problems, and sometimes people end up with medical bills, 80, 90, $100,000, the average family, let alone the average retiree, doesn't have that kind of money, 20% of $100,000 just sitting around.
No.
And that's enough to put somebody into bankruptcy or make them homeless. And so those are the kinds of things that we need to work on fixing, because if we're
Right.
going to have Medicare for all, we need to make sure that people can afford it.
Right.
I mean, it sounds
So,
like
what do you say
a
about the
really
argument?
a good idea on paper, but when you look at the gaps that aren't covered, those are the kinds of things that we need to kind of
So, what do
fill
you?
in the gaps on.
This is very important. What do you say about the libertarian argument and the Republican argument that the government's going to have their hands in healthcare and the bureaucrats, the deep state, are going to take that and manipulate it somehow?
Oh, it's bullshit.
So, why is that
I
bullshit?
mean, is it already happening? I mean, with the Medicare system that we have right
I
now?
the health
No,
insurance companies are the
no.
middlemen
The
that do
health insurance
nothing.
companies
They
need to
deny you coverage.
right.
They pay you exorbitant fees. And by the way,
Mhm,
hospitals are also paying fees that you. One time, I went to a freaking hospital
mhm,
to get my because I was right there, right next to
mhm,
my college. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get my tooth looked at because it hurt.
mhm.
They charged me $2,000. I
Right.
didn't spend the night anything. I was like, where's the itemized bill? They didn't send it to me, but they're like, well, if you don't want to pay it, it's just gonna go on your credit, okay?
Mhm.
Like they expected me to just let that happen.
Right.
Because yeah. So no, actually, like where did you get this $2,000? They won't even tell you. They'll just
Mhm.
try to work out a payment plan. So
Oh,
all of
right.
these people are just trying to get money off of you.
Right.
And
And the thing
literally
is,
it's for your sickness. You're sick. This is
right.
the sickest thing ever,
The
honestly.
thing is,
They get money off of sick people.
if you go in without insurance, you're going to pay a much higher rate than you'd be billed if you have insurance,
Right.
which is counterintuitive altogether. So these insurance companies, they've negotiated with medical providers for lower rates. So, not only are they paying claims and taking money in the form of premiums, that's where they make their profits, but they're paying less out than they would normally have to because they've negotiated much lower rates than the average person can going into it. So, I mean, it's a mess. I mean, it really is. It's a
I mean,
mess.
yeah, it's a mess now. I don't understand. I really don't understand about like why are they so afraid that the government's going to make it worse? Except for the fact they keep fucking electing idiots who are demagogues. And because they say, I don't get Republicans
Well,
still.
it's fear mongering. That's basically all it is. If you get the government involved, they're going to make it worse. Well,
I like it.
you know, the government put together Medicare and it works pretty damn well.
Yeah,
So,
they did.
let's maybe give a little credit where credit's due.
Can work well. It's just
Of
that
course
they
it
keep
can.
saying they want small government, and then they cut things, and they get stupid people in there that want to cut government, and they cut it all, and then it's all cut, and
Right.
they're stupid, and it doesn't work, and then they say government doesn't work. Well, you cut it,
Right.
and you're stupid. Remember?
Right.
So it's just like a catch-22 with these guys. But that is good. They did put together Medicare. That was FDR. Was that FDR? He did Medicare. He did Social Security as well. So yeah, I think that we can. I think that we can progress like that.
We can have nice things.
We can have nice things.
We can.
We don't need a. You don't have to be a lion, duck, pony show, dog show. Okay, here's the thing. You ain't black. You know the thing. I like this guy. He's funny. I can't wait to see what happens to Joe Biden. Is he going to get lost at the Iowa State Fair? Is he going to eat ice cream in Kentucky and never be found again?
Oh, hey,
Who
man.
knows what's going to happen? It's going to be an accident.
Hey, man.
You know that. Hey, man, you know the thing.
Hey, man.
Shut your yap. Shut your yaps. Malarkey. He's so adorable. What an adorable little neoliberal. Well, it was a pleasure, Ellie. See, Livestream is awesome. Livestream is awesome. You should probably get on here more, okay? Don't be a stranger. Let's work together because they can't ban us all from Facebook. I'm banned from Facebook right now. That's why I can't get on.
Seriously?
Yeah, I did. I showed a Team America GIF. Did you ever see Team America World Police? So there's this one part where they're puppets, and so there's one part. Gary, he gets drunk and he vomits, and it's like a stream of vomit. It's hilarious. So I shared that, and Facebook tagged me for hate speech. I was hate speech and drug paraphernalia. Apparently, I was advocating for drugs. That's what they said. Yeah, and yeah, they don't like me very much because I called Mark Zuckerberg Mark Zuckerberg. So they're like, you can't even repeal this. Okay?
Oh, shame on you.
Goodbye for 4 days. Hate speech. Hate speech for 4 days. Oh my god.
That's it?
They're so arbitrary.
It sounds like varying levels of hate. Must not have been very hatey.
I know. They're
Minimal
so
hate.
arbitrary.
Minimal
3
hate.
days, 4 days. They don't even have a phone number. How in the world are they approved? You know how you have to identify your on Facebook? You have to have a phone number so they can two activation. They don't have a phone number. You're not approved, Facebook. Get with your community standards, Facebook. These guys, they're breaking their own laws. So anyway, they can't ban us all. Okay. Let's progress.
True story.
Okay. Well, have a good Tommy Nation Tuesday.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Come back and see us again. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.